grew up there, not far from the Superdome. Used to sell beignets on the street corner, make a living. Drew Brees is selling touchdowns. He's selling lots of them. He ends up 2 touchdowns behind Peyton Manning for the most in career history. You know what you do? You just go to Michael Thomas. 12 catches on 12 targets. Good time to remind everybody he was the 5th wide receiver taken Michael Thomas's draft behind guys like Corey Coleman and Josh Doxson. Flaming hot take, Peter.
Talk about it.
Drew Brees. Now, okay, he's one short, 10-0. What do? Obviously, you go to Traquan Smith, touchdown 21-yarder at his 5:39. It ties Peyton Manning. It's a really cool story. Peyton Manning grew up in the area. His father played there. Now Drew Brees is breaking his record. Peyton slicing tomatoes. But you still got to get one more to break the record. Notice there's no game going on here because there really was never a game. It's already 20-0. And then you go to Josh Hill. Or Jeremy Bergman at NFL.com called him a walking trivia answer. It was really good. Josh Hill catches the record-breaking touchdown. Drew Brees hyped him after the game, said he's been the unsung hero since you showed up here. There's the Brees family and the Brees box. And the Brady tweets, kind of interesting because he's right there with him and Brady's still playing. Basically saying, your records will be tough to beat, but it's worth trying. Great tweet, Tom. Drew, Sean, hugging. They've been there the whole time together in New Orleans. And there's kisses being blown, and then here, one more kiss to blow to the Colts here. Let's go to Taysom. One more. We always love it, Taysom. Number 7, they call him the Joker. Look out. Can't have a play without physical contact. You just can't finish it. That's another touchdown to add on. And there's fake Drew Brees. Look how good that guy is. He looks just like him. Full pads. Drew Brees runs off. Really a cult hero, a folk icon there in New Orleans. And look at this. Past Peyton, who's done, Favre and Marino, who are done, but Brady 3 behind now, and it's been tough sledding for Brady, whereas Brees was shooting fish in a barrel last night in the Dome. So let's hear from him, from Sean Payton, trying to shake his hand, his coach, after he broke the record. How'd that go?
I'm a hugger more than a handshaker, but I mean, listen, Sean, I wouldn't be here without Sean, and you know the time we've had together, the experiences we've had together, you know, and from the very beginning, you know, what he has built here as far as the foundation and the culture, and Mickey Loomis as well, you know, 2 of the most integral parts of this whole organization, and certainly the reason that I'm here. I'll be forever indebted to those guys. I love those guys.
Made history last night. Their last home game, they go on the road in week 16 and 17. And if they win out, it still doesn't mean they get a first-round bye. It doesn't mean they necessarily get to play at home on their first game of the playoffs. It's sort of wild. So the Saints join the Seahawks, the Packers, the Niners as the only 11-win teams in the NFC. Take a look at their remaining season schedules, if you will. We've got the Titans and the Panthers on the road for the Saints.
The viewers at home might be saying, wait a second, Saints beat the Seahawks. What the heck? Why are we 3 and they're number 1? Because there's a multiple-way tie. It's not just head-to-head. It goes to conference record.
Yeah.
And in that case, the Seahawks have the best conference record. The Saints have too many losses. Take a look at this here real quick. This is the conference record. All these teams are the same record, but you go to conference record, and it goes Seahawks, Packers, Saints, San Francisco. Guys, oddly enough, if the Niners win out, the Niners are the 1 seed. So the Niners have to beat the Seahawks. But it's a lot to take, but that's just it. Head-to-head, doesn't matter because there's a more than one-way tie. If
the Seahawks win their remaining 2 games, are the Seahawks at the top? No, they're behind the Niners.
The Seahawks would still be behind. Yes, the Seahawks would be at the top because they would have beaten the 49ers.
Yep.
However, the Packers, if they win both, could actually play a role in that too. It's very complicated. It involves 16 and 17.
What wasn't complicated is that Drew Brees was awesome last night. The Saints team with a dominant win. What did we think quickly about these last 2 weeks, really, with Drew Brees?
I would say that dedication, overtime, and putting the work in, this is the result. You know, we live in a day and age where athletes sign big contracts, and then they leave one system and they go to another. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, these guys are shining examples of why you should stick with one squad. You know, one things that I love about being in the league is that I was able to play for 3 organizations that were unbelievable. And they meant a lot. The Vikings were great. Going back home to Seattle was awesome. Playing Detroit was phenomenal. But my biggest regret is that I didn't play for the same team and play in the same system my entire career. Because if you do that, you start to know it like the back of your hand. Now, of course, talent is there. Leadership is there. Drew Brees was blessed with all these things. But after bouncing back from injury, proving his worth, and then sticking in a system, that just helps with your approach to the game. Just think about walking on the field and knowing the playbook like you know your family. And the coach being able to look at you, you look at him in the same situation, you guys know exactly what play you want to run. That's what Tom Brady has in New England. That's what Drew Brees has in New Orleans. And there's no surprise that he continues to shine even at this age. So
are they the team to beat?
I don't know, Kay. I'm not sure, but I just want to make sure that these young players know when you look at a player like Drew Brees, look at where he's been. Right. Sometimes chasing the money and the fame to play for a different team isn't always the best thing for your career. Sometimes sitting in a system can work wonders.
Especially when that system pays you as much as the Saints system does for him. We've reached such a statistical asinine level right now for Drew Brees that we're forgetting things. For example, last night he passes the all-time touchdown record. He did something else insane last night, and show me the one play. They're going to take that ball, the touchdown, to the Canton. This one should go too. Watch this. He's going to throw to Latavius Murray a check down. It's incomplete. Take that ball to Canton too. Because that is the only ball that was not caught by a Saint last night that he threw.
Wild stat line.
Drew Brees was 29 of 30. Guys, that sets a record 96.7 completion percentage.
Most accurate game in NFL
No one's talking about that. And that should be the story of the month. He breaks the record set by Phil Rivers, his former teammate on the Chargers. I'll go one deeper. He completed 22 straight passes. Next week, if he starts 4 for 4, he breaks the consecutive completion record against the Titans. Do you know how good you have to be like, yeah, but whatever. That's like 5 other records he set. It's so asinine that we're so numb to it. Young players, old media members, everybody, remember what he's
29 of 30.
It's insane. You don't do that against air. It's crazy.
Tricks.
I think that Drew Brees, to a man, would say, I love the record, it's great, but the work is not done. I'm fascinated to see how these next few weeks play out. 6 weeks to the Super Bowl. Will Drew Brees be hoisting that Lombardi trophy?
Quickly, why weren't you surprised that they rolled over the Colts last night? Don't talk negatively about the Colts.
We won't talk about
it. Felt a way about this.
I said yesterday on the show they'll win by 3 scores before they even get out of bed. They had the whole 09 team there. They're coming off a bad loss. They were home. It was Monday night. There was the record. That was the most predictable game in the no team could have kept up with the Saints yesterday. That was everything was stacked for them to come out.
Run it back. What's going to be the game this weekend? I want to know sometime this week. What's going to be the blowout game?
The blowout game. I think the 49ers and the Rams could be very interesting. And I'm just going to say San Francisco has something to show America as well.
Hey, elsewhere in the NFC, it's the game we've all been waiting for. Cowboys at Eagles. It's a battle for the NFC East. Jane Slater has more.
Thanks, Kay. After a 3-game losing streak, that win over the Rams on Sunday was just the win they needed ahead of the all-important game, which is their win on Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. Remarkably, it was the run game, once the Cowboys' identity, that led to the 44-21 win at home. Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard accounting for over 300 yards of total offense. The receivers, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and Randall Cobb, held to a combined 22 yards on 3 catches. Now, Elliott tells me the win is going to help the morale of this team. He says they never doubted the talent in that locker room. They just hadn't put it together on the field. A win Sunday ensures that the Cowboys get into the playoffs. But Elliott tells me that's not where they want this thing to end. They want to go the distance.
Appreciate you, Jane. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones once said Zeke Elliott the straw that stirs the drink, but we're looking at the playoff picture here. They're tied at the top, a huge game with lots of playoff implications, Schrager.
Yeah. Cowboys win out, they're in. Eagles win out, they're in. That's the basis of it. Now, if the Cowboys lose to the Eagles and the Eagles somehow lose, that's when things get tricky and we go to 5th tiebreakers. But it's winning out for both these teams. It really is decided in Week 16.
Are the Cowboys back, Nate?
Okay, I would need them to string together a couple of games. You know, let's finish off the season strong. If they win both of these remaining games, then I will tell you that they're back. You know, it's funny. I was sitting there all year trying to tell the Cowboys how good they are, and it seems like they were looking around. I was like, oh, man, in my front pocket is all this talent. So hopefully they can move forward and continue to play at this level.
Their season hit the rock bottom point, the very bad part against the Bears on Thursday night. Everyone watching, everyone teeing off, and it was the 2nd straight week on national television. I thought for sure the Rams would come in, winners of 2 straight games, and blow the doors off them because the Rams were the hottest team in football.
At least make it close.
They showed me a lot on Sunday to say, you know what, we're not only going to beat them, we're going to blow them out, and we're going to put our foot on their throats. Cowboys showed me a lot, and yet the Eagles have had some really impressive stuff, too. This is going to be a really good game. And I think 2 good teams right now.
Are they back? They're back to playing the Eagles. And they've owned the Eagles. And I don't know if you remember the game this year when they played Philadelphia. It was like the Jerry Jones vision. It was him riding a unicorn down a rainbow. It's everything he's ever wanted. Zeke 100 yards, Amari 100 yards, DeMarcus Lawrence a forced fumble, Jalen Smith everywhere. They crushed them. And they've crushed them for a couple of years. And so if they lose because of Greg Ward and Arthega Whiteside and they beat Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott, then the Cowboys don't deserve squat, but I don't think they will. I think they got it.
We'll see how it shakes out this week. We have a triple header ahead of that game, a day ahead of all going on Saturday right here on NFL Network. It's 3 times the action, 3 times the touchdowns, and 3 times the excitement. Everybody you see here at the breakfast table is involved. 3 of us headed to Tampa. You're headed up to Foxborough.
Foxborough, Bills, Patriots.
I'll
Let's
give
go.
you my extra hand warmers.
Thank
the
you.
triple header starting Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern only on NFL Network. And more GMFB up ahead.